got my new parts, or at least some of them. So those are the old ones, these are the new ones. Unfortunately, although that bit's correct, I've gone and bought the wrong idler. I've got the upper one, which is that one on mine, which is actually okay, whereas the one that's making a bit of a crappy dry rattle sound is that one, which goes below the alternator. So I don't think that one actually makes the noise because I removed it and the noise is still there. So I'll refit that one as a temporary measure and then buy another one when I get around to it. This is my new main tensioner idler, which bearing's quite stiff, it doesn't freewheel, no play in it whatsoever, as compared to the old one, which makes that noise. So hoping that that is the one that's wrong. Unfortunately, it's pissing down with rain, but I need my car so I can go home, so I'm going to have to go and work out in the rain. First thing I'm going to do is just put a bit of copper ease on the shaft as it goes through that timing cover, because the other one was a bit of a pain to get out. I had to wiggle it and lever it a little bit with a screwdriver as I worked it backwards and forwards. So if I do ever need to get this back out, or if someone else does, it should be a bit easier for them. So the idea is that bit gets posted through from the front, and then on the back side you're supposed to put this screw on, which goes into the back of here and holds it in place. I tried and failed to show that bolt down there. It's an extremely tight fit. I think you can just see it in the centre of the screen now. I've left the old bolt just hanging out of the hole because basically you can't get it out fully, or I can't, because of this oil filter housing and cooler reservoir. So God knows how you manage it. It's going to be seriously, well, a really horrible job to try and do that up, but I don't really have any option other than do it tiny stages at a time with a 10mm spanner. Right, this gets posted back through here, and it's slotted so it can only engage either that way round or that way round, and quite obviously needs to go that way round because, or is it the other way round? Anyway, it wants to go that way round, I think, and then you tension it that way, or detension it and then tension it back up that way. Right, the idea is this gets posted back through that hole. It can only engage one of two ways round because it has that slot on it, so it can go 180 degrees either way, and you want it so that when it's in its relaxed state, the springs are holding it away to that side, tensioning your belt. So let's see if we can get that in there. Should be able to feel what options we've got. Okay. So it's broadly in a line with its running surface on the crank and the alternator, and it seems quite happy in that position. And I seem to remember when I was trying to release the belt, I was having to rotate the whole thing this way, so that should be about right. Got an LED torch with me this time, so hopefully I can show you exactly where that screw is. I'll call it a screw. It's actually a bolt. But that black bit on the left, or in the middle, cylindrical bit, is the tensioner, and the bolt that's sticking out the right hand side is what goes into the end of that shaft that comes off the tensioner. So I never removed that bolt completely, I just left it hanging out the back of the casting because I couldn't get it out, and I anticipated it being a right ball ache to try and do up, but actually if you get your finger right on the end of it, you can wind it in by hand, and then the last few turns I'll have to do with a 10mm spanner. Okay, this is what you're working with. No room between the bolt and that casting. So I got it started with just my fingers, and now it's so frustrating just trying to wiggle that on there. I'm pretty sure the thread is engaged now, so I've been massaging it around like that, but now I think I'm going to need to get the spanner on it properly. And it, bollocks, every time you get the spanner on it moves back. There's probably a much easier way of doing this, like removing other components, but I'm being really lazy, so I'm just trying to do it up like this. So I might be some time. Oh my god, that was painful in more ways than one. That took a very long time, but it's done. I'm sure somebody will chip in, and please do, with methods of doing that easier. I could have used a ratchet spanner, but none of mine are thin-walled enough to go in there. I think it might actually be worth taking a ratchet spanner and then sanding the edge down just for doing this job if you're doing it. Unless of course somebody comes along and says, oh yeah, it's really easy if you do this, this or this. But it's in, it's on, and now I'm going to put the belt back on. So I've put the actual tensioner idler on. The shiny one below it was the idler that I'd bought in, well, accidentally. Mine was actually okay. That was just an Allen bit, HW6. Now I'm going to do the one that goes down by the alternator, and if you remember from last time, that's the one where I used, what was it, T50 Torx bit in combination with an 8mm spanner, so that I don't accidentally round it off. This is the one that I'd like to replace if I can buy the right one next time. But yeah, it goes back up in here. Got the belt back on, everything's routed properly, including around that slightly suspect pulley. So the moment of truth, and before I get too carried away putting the rest of it back together, is to start it up, hopefully with no nasty noises. I don't know what I'm going to do if we do. That is not what I was hoping for. So we've still got that noise. Very, very, very irritating. So it's not idlers or pulleys. It must be one of the components, either the power steering pump, air pump, something like that. Just to satisfy myself that I'm not going crazy, I've whipped the belt off again. Gonna start it again just to confirm that the noise definitely goes away and haven't been completely wasting my time. Right, so it's definitely to do with that belt and the front. It just doesn't happen to be any of the idlers. So I put the belt back on, and before I run it again, I'm going to go and get something that I can listen with, like a long screwdriver or a piece of hose or something. It can only be the crank damper, that, which I presume is a water pump, but I don't know. That I've changed, that I've changed, that doesn't make any difference. We've got the alternator and we've got the power steering pump. But quite frankly, there's nothing else there associated with the belt. So power steering fluid is fine, it's within the levels. So that really suggests either the alternator or the water pump or the pulley. But I put a screwdriver through the back of the pulley from below and was wiggling it, and there's no excess play. There's no evidence that it's been hitting or contacting the timing cover. I I don't know whether it could be the water pump. It doesn't feel like it. But yeah, as I said, I'm going to go and get a listening tube and just have a listen and see if I can identify it that way. Well, I'm at a bit of a loss. I'm using this piece of plastic pipe. I don't know whether this is going to work, but the idea is you put it on stuff. And the idea is you can hear changes. That was on the power steering housing. That's the front timing cover next to the water pump. That's the crank pulley. And that's the alternator. So the only thing I would say is that crank pulley, like it's wobbling a bit maybe. Maybe it's just my eyes. Right, I've had another idea. I'm not sure whether I'm going to be able to show this single-handed because I'm just holding my iPhone. But I was thinking, oh, isn't it a shame that I couldn't route the belt in some way as to eliminate each of these in turn? Because then I'd know which component it was making the noise. Then I thought, well, what if I spin them over with something else? So I have my electric drill with a brushy thing on the end. And I don't know whether this is going to work in terms of whether you're going to hear it, but that's on the power steering pump, and you can't really hear anything other than the drill. If you put it on here, which is what I think might be the water pump, or I'm guessing it is, I don't know. I can't get it now. Basically, if I manage to get that on there and spin it up, it doesn't make a perfectly sensible noise. It does have something funny to it. And there is a tiny imperceptible bit of play, but compared to the idlers I swapped, it's absolutely nothing. So I'm still not convinced, but at least it shows part of my thought process as to what the hell's going on. To try and quieten things down a bit, I've been trying to run the chuck of the drill on the old belts, either the actual main aux belt, that one, or the stretchy aircon belt, but it just throws them off every time. Try as I might, I cannot get the alternator to go either because I just cannot get access to it with the high-speed drill. Been online and you can get a water pump for 50 or 60 quid, and it doesn't look like the worst job in the world. At least it's on the front of the engine. You've got the thermostat housing, and then hopefully it'll just unbolt and pull forward. But I think for the moment I'm stuffed. I'm going to have to go inside and do yet more internet research, YouTube videos and forums and things to look at if anyone else has reported water pumps making strange noises, or alternators or power steering pumps. I mean, it always sounded to me like it was a resonant thing, like the power steering fluid was low. There's a tiny bit of play in that, but it doesn't make a squeak when you actually put the drill on it. It sounds perfectly fine. So it's cheaper to do the water pump, and it's a service item anyway, than it is to change the power steering pump. I guess what I could do is drain one or the other and then just see if the noise changed in pitch, because that would probably tell me. But before I resort to that, I'm going to go and do some more, as I say, internet reading. I'm getting absolutely nowhere with this now. I have poked, prodded, pulled, wiggled and made attempts to listen to everything, and I haven't got a clue what it is. When it's running, the noise actually sounds worse from this kind of area, but there's nothing connected to the aux belt which operates in the area. Everything feels fine. If I put a big piece of pipe, that silver one, on here on the alternator sounds much louder, but again the bearing feels absolutely fine, and I've never had an alternator fail or any rotating machinery that's failed where you couldn't feel the bearing was bollocksed. So I'm at a loss and I'm getting pissed off. So I'm gonna call it a night and hope that someone can suggest something that I haven't thought of. We have a new development. I put the belt back on and started it up, tried to run it up to temperature. Well, not even run it up to temperature, but just run it with the filler cap off to see whether there was any coolant circulating, and sure enough there is. Nice steady flow coming back from here. So that makes me think it's not a water pump impeller. The bearing feels fine on the front side, and if the impeller was wrong, I don't think it'd be circulating properly. And if the impeller had broken up, I think you'd be getting a less than consistent noise, and this is always like a consistent hum. So then I went back to the power steering. The fluids are definitely at the right level. There's nothing like metal grindings in the fluid. It's, you know, nice and clear. There's a bit of dust or crap that's settled on the plate that's in there, but I don't, if that was like the system breaking up, then I would think you'd hear it a lot more than that. Plus it doesn't sound like that's bad. The alternator doesn't sound great, but again there's no play in the bearing. But what's happened now is that I've got all sorts of warning lights coming up on the dashboard, and now it won't even start. So I know I haven't knocked anything, so the starter's dead. So maybe it is an alternator issue and it's not charging, because it's been fine all day and it's been kicking over fine, and now it seems to have lost charge. Just before it lost charge to that point, it was telling me that the ABS system was wrong and the supplementary restraint system was wrong and all that sort of stuff. So that's normally associated with low battery voltages, or can be. So I'm starting to think now whether or not that alternator isn't goosed, and that's been the problem all along. Just put a jump pack on it and it's not meaty enough to fire it over, so I'm going to pull the battery out of the boot and put that on charge overnight. Things are starting to make a bit more sense now I think about it. I can only feel the bearing that's at the front of the alternator, and there's no play in that one, but that doesn't mean to say there's not any play in the rear bearing, or that something inside hasn't started to break up. It has to be something driven by that belt, because the noise goes away when the belt's not on. I don't think it's a water pump, I don't think it's power steering. The battery's dead, which would suggest the alternator's not charging, which suggests it's bollocksed. So tomorrow, when I've got more energy and I can be bothered, I'm going to try and get the alternator out, which doesn't look fun because it's under the power steering pump behind the what is it, turbo intake pipe, or like the cold pipe from the intercooler back into the inlet for the engine, and then miscellaneous electrical connectors down the back there. So hopefully I don't have to move the rad forward or do anything like that, because that would be mega annoying. But yeah, I'm going to pull the alternator out and at least take a look at it.